Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Adobe Live. It's a very gloomy and dark London Friday, but I'm joined by some very sunshiny weather from Margherita Innocenti in Florence, I believe. Welcome.
Yes,
hello.
correct.
How you doing?
Hi, thank you. I'm very good. Very excited.
Yeah, this is a stream that I've been waiting for quite a while. So for a quick rundown and quick backstory on things, Margherita, you started posting all sorts of things on TikTok, and one in particular caught the attention of my girlfriend, who then sent it over to me, and I passed it over to Adobe Live and said this would be great for a stream to go through and have a look at some things. And here we finally are. So I'm glad it's all come full circle. And I think there's some people in the chat who are also keen to see some TikTok action. All sorts of familiar faces. Kirsty, Laura, Sean. Who else we got? Angus. Tim's in the chat as well. Tim's also in my ear, which is brilliant. So yeah, plenty of people over on the chat. If you're watching this on YouTube, that's fine. You can hang around there. But if you want to join in with the chat, make sure you come and join us on Behance. So that's be.net/Adobe Live, I believe. The link will be on the screen. If you want to come and join us in the chat, make sure to head over to Behance. So, Margherita, what are we going to be looking at today? Or would you like to share some of your recent work up front, just to give people a bit of an idea of what they can expect from things like your TikTok and Instagram and stuff?
Sure. So this is my TikTok. This, I think, is the video that your girlfriend was telling you about. This is the video that went most viral. It's got almost 3 million views, which is crazy.
It is brilliant.
And I'll
Type
put the
tool,
volume.
write your text. Then draw your shape. Grab your knife tool and cut. Select the first shape with your text. Go to Envelop, Distort, Make with Top Object. Do the same with the bottom. Expand. Change the first color. Make 2 more copies of the text you just created. Make one really small and change its color. Center both of your shapes. Make sure the bigger shape is in front of the little shape, like this. Select both of them and then make your blend. Go to blend options, make it specified steps. Add as many as you want. To go a step further, you select this text and make it a tiny bit lighter than the top one. And then you place it on top.
Yep.
So good. So good.
And this is the type of videos I make. I make they're actually really easy effects. One, because I only have 1 minute to show them. but mostly I don't want to show too complex things. I just want to show easy things that everyone can open up Illustrator for the first time and you can just make it. And
well, yeah, one thing I noticed with your TikTok, when you go through it, and likewise with your Instagram as well, and you see such wide variety on effects and things. So it's actually quite remarkable to be able to find simple little tips that you can share that are easy to follow and that fit the minute length, but can be so wildly different, yet also connected as a clear portfolio of your style. So it's very commendable that you're able to do that.
Thank you.
And I think that also adds to the success of it. I mean, your TikTok has just exploded over the last year.
It has, but I just started. I started in, I think it was in the beginning of February of this year. I started.
Oh, wow.
But I've been posting every single day and I haven't missed a day since I started. Every day I post 3 videos.
Wow.
So it's a lot of work, but by being this consistent, I think people are enjoying it more and following more.
Mm-hmm. I mean, in most social media cases, consistency often sort of beats quality on things, but you're able to match both of them together. You're producing
Thank you.
good quality work and easy to follow. Honestly, it's no easy feat being able to demonstrate what it is that you're actually creating. So yeah, your TikTok is brilliant, and I think TikTok as well as a platform, it's got like a bit of a weird reputation among people. Those who know TikTok know that it can be anything and everything. Those who are outside of TikTok maybe don't realize what it could be, and they just think of stereotypical dance videos and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
These design tips, you realize it's actually a perfect platform for it, with it being just a minute in length, and you really can follow along.
Yeah.
How do you plan what you're going to share? Do you sort of pre-create a set of designs like at the beginning of the week and then go and break down?
No, I go day by day.
Oh wow.
It's hard by posting so much every day. It's hard to plan ahead because I would have to make like 30 videos for 1 week. So I prefer just doing like, for example, yesterday I made the 3 videos I'm going to post today. So I usually make them the day before to post the day after, apart from the weekend, because I don't want to work on weekends. So usually Fridays I prepare 6 videos for Saturday and Sunday to post.
I mean, I guess that makes sense. If you are doing every day, then you don't want to, front load too much stuff.
I mean, I wish I could.
Do you ever have ideas of things that you start to create and then you realize, oh, this is actually maybe a little bit too complex, or this isn't really going to work? You ever have to give up on things?
Very often. But I always record everything and then I try and fit it in 1 minute. If it doesn't fit, then I'm going to post it onto YouTube or Instagram or some other platform. But I really try the hardest I can to fit it into 1 minute by squishing everything together.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, it happens.
I think also just with the time restraint on things, it really helps just get to the point on things. I know for myself when I'm doing videos on YouTube, and there are some where I've recorded like 40, 50 minutes, and I think I've really got to cut this down. And you're trimming it down, and then in the process you do lose some value of things because there was a reason why you said something, but at the same time it's how much more value is lost by people not wanting to watch it in the first place. So yeah, I think it's a great platform to get involved with. I spend hours on TikTok. I really enjoy it. I think in the last year as well, with all the lockdowns around the world, it's TikTok has just been the go-to place for a lot of people.
It is. I spent most of my day on TikTok.
Yeah.
Either making videos or watching them.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. So should we jump into what we're going to share today in terms of, I think, making some of these TikToks?
Yes. So we're going to edit one TikTok that I made for today. That is using the same effect of the video that went viral, but it changed some parts.
Cool.
So there's 2 main ways I do my videos on TikTok. First way is I basically just record with my phone, and I have this to hold my phone, and I just make videos of the parts that I'm interested. And then I just put them all together into Premiere. So they're already pre-made clips of 1-2 seconds with audio already. So the hard part is over there to just trim enough to make it fit in 1 minute. The other way I do them is by screen recording directly on my screen while I do it, and then add a voiceover to the video, which is, I don't know which one I prefer. They're both really simple because I make 3 a day, so I couldn't go crazy on the effects. But I guess one's better for the audio, the other is better for the quality of it. Sometimes, I don't know, the sun is shining, and so if I record the video from my phone, you can't see it properly. So the screen recording would be better. But I can explain stuff better if I'm doing it on my phone rather than screen recording and adding my audio after that.
Yeah, I guess you probably feel a connection to the fact that you've set it up so you know, like, I've got to be quick with this.
Yes,
Whereas
exactly.
if you've got screen recording, it just keeps recording, you forget to turn it off and all sorts.
Exactly. So I'm going to show you guys these 2 ways that I edit my TikToks.
Just before we jump in, there's actually a question here from Laura asking, how do you get the ideas for your tips and tricks that you share?
I work full-time as a graphic designer for this company in Florence. So I spend all my time from 9 to 5 on Photoshop and on Illustrator. I'm just playing around and trying to find new little effects that I can share later. I also look at Pinterest a lot and try maybe to recreate some effects that I see like an image of. TikTok as well. I'm on the side of TikTok design. I only watch videos of designers and illustrators and Adobe related programs. So I get some inspiration from that as well.
That's interesting with Pinterest. It's kind of one of the sort of background social media platforms that's actually massive.
Yeah.
There are so many people who get a lot from Pinterest, but for a lot of us, Pinterest is kind of, not one of the big names like Instagram or YouTube. But it is actually massive. It's genuinely a very, very big traffic site.
It is. I always have it open on my internet. Anyways, first of all, I import all my media over here. I use the assembly here, visual, I guess, because I don't really have to put together that much stuff, or it's not that hard of editing. So it's just the clips that I prepare and just putting them together and trying to cut them properly and trying to fit them in. So this is a first version, and as you can see, I have 30 clips.
Nice.
Which I'm all going to drag into here. I also some ideas I don't even have to come up with, because most of my comment section under my videos are requests for tutorials.
Yeah, of course.
So it's people maybe asking, hey, how do you do like a chrome effect on text in Photoshop? So I already have the idea for the next day, which is good.
And I imagine as well, the more consistent you are, the more feedback you get, and that in itself just drives creativity and inspiration, and
exactly, yeah.
Post more and more comes back to you. Exactly.
So here I have my final image, and I'm going to import that as well. And then I made in Photoshop, I made this, which is like an overlay I put on top of everything, which is basically the screen you see while you're scrolling through your videos. And I made this because I sometimes add subtitles or text, because maybe I stumble on my words and maybe you can't really understand what I'm saying. So I just write, maybe I write like the shortcut of a command that I said.
Yep.
So this helps me figure out where I can put the text and where I can't. Because if I write the text and it's too low, then no one's going to be able to see it.
Yeah, it's good to see. A lot of people actually don't do that. So
yes, exactly. So to create my sequence, I usually just drag and drop my final image here, because I know this is the correct size and resolution that I want. And then I can just delete it. And these are already in order. So I just grab all of them and drag them in. As you can see, we already have the audio for all of them. So the hard part is just trimming them enough to reach a minute, because right now we are at almost a minute and 45.
Yeah.
So we have to delete quite a lot. I usually make these bigger so that I can see the audio. So basically, this is like the introduction. I always do a part where the beginning, where I show myself and I introduce the effect. For example, like we're going to see how to do this effect in Illustrator, or we're going to see this effect in Photoshop, so that people know right away what program we're talking about. And right after that, I usually place my final image. I've gotten so many comments. I didn't do this at the beginning, but I've gotten so many comments of people wanting to see the final effect at the beginning, so that they can know if they want to follow along or not, which is makes sense. I mean, I wouldn't want to watch a video to realize at the end that I didn't need it for anything.
It's like a show me you're worth it type of placement. Yeah.
So I follow my followers' advice. I try. So for this, I just took a blank video
in Illustrator,
and I just say in Illustrator, and it's the part where I'm going to show. So it's going to go,
how to make this cool effect in Illustrator.
So you see the effect, you see what program I am going to use. And now we have to start trimming down everything.
First of all, grab the type tool and write your text. If you have more than one.
Okay, I think we can leave this for now. If not, just cut a little bit at the beginning and a little piece at the end.
Can I introduce you to a shortcut that I think you're going to love?
Sure.
The Q and W keys on the keyboard allow you to trim left and right of where the playhead is.
Oh, really?
To save you having to make a cut, select, delete, and everything. So in one single keystroke.
Okay. Yeah, that's easy. I'm not an expert in Premiere, because I started using this when I started making the TikTok videos. I had no idea. So I know the basics. I know the basics. I'm trying to learn After Effects as well. So I started posting some animation tutorials as well.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I think you'll
which
have a lot of fun.
Been cool. Yeah.
The transition from Illustrator to Premiere and After Effects, it's kind of like they're all sort of similar, but then kind of not.
Yeah, I mean the layout is similar. I can get around in them, but all the rest.
Yeah. No, it's definitely worth getting involved with.
Yeah.
If you have more than one word, make sure that they're separate. Then grab the ellipse tool and make a circle.
All right, this is a lot of empty space, so we can just delete this. So cute. Yeah. That makes sense. It's so
grab
easy.
The knife tool. And cut your shape almost.
I'm gonna cut all of this part.
There is a question in the chat, but I think we may get to that a little bit later. Is how do you add keyboard shortcuts over onto your videos?
Yes, we're gonna get I first like to trim everything and make sure it fits in 1 minute, because if I can't make it fit, then I've done extra work for nothing. So I first like to trim everything, make sure it fits in a minute, and then I like to add the text shortcuts.
Yeah.
Your shape. You now have two separate shapes.
I think we can delete this.
Do you have a particular time in your day that you're often filming these? If you're working full time as well, that's
yes, I make them.
Time's very stretched.
I make them at night. I try and finish everything before dinner.
Right.
So I finish. I get off work at 5:30, and I start right away.
So I guess you may end up eating quite late then if you particularly busy?
I mean, it depends. If I already have the ideas, then it's pretty fast, actually. I can manage to do the 3 videos within 2 hours and a half.
Mm-hmm.
So if
That's
I finish at 5:30, then by 8 I'm ready to eat, and
Nice.
I'm all set for the next day. But whenever I don't have any ideas yet for what to post, so that's when it gets hard. I end up going to bed at 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
Which isn't fun.
And then up early again.
Yes, exactly. But at least I always manage to have my weekend off.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Which is good.
Yeah, it's always good to have a good balance of things.
Yeah.
So this effect was originally the springtime.
Yes,
TikTok.
exactly.
Is the process still the same, or have you changed?
The process is exactly the same. Exactly
Okay.
the same. I made more similar to this because people appreciated them so much. So I made them in different shapes.
Mm-hmm.
So not only in circles, but maybe I made one with a heart. I made one with like a cloud shape.
And then in terms of your color palette as well, that's always something that you could easily spend a lot of time working on.
Yes.
Do you have a set sort of color palette of things, or do you just play around and keep going?
I usually just play around and see whatever I'm feeling that day.
Mm-hmm.
But I also posted a video not too long ago, I think, in which I showed how I sometimes make my color palettes. So I just choose 2 colors that I'm into or that I want to use. And then I use the blend tool, which is the same tool as I use in this video, to show me like all the steps that it takes to get from the first color I chose to the second one. So I have all the in-between shades, I guess. So that's how I choose most of them.
Mm. Can see that you're able to edit by waveform, looking more at the audio. Yep, definitely. Okay,
we're down 30 seconds. We're still missing about 20 seconds to cut, but I think it's gonna be fine.
Cool.
Yes, I usually just see where there is no sound just from over here. That's why I make it bigger so I can just see it better. Mm-hmm. If there's no spiky stuff, it means there's no sound, and that I can cut that part out.
Do you think at some point you may transition into other styles of TikToks, maybe rather than like tutorial-based things, but more like artwork showing, a greater amount of work, but within the minute duration?
Yeah, so I started by doing that, actually. I started that I was kind of obsessed with photo manipulation. So just putting random stuff all together in one image in Photoshop. And I would just record that and speed it up and post that. So it wasn't tutorial, it wasn't anything. But then I just got really into showing people how to do stuff. And I saw that everyone was enjoying it so much, I just kept going. But I might switch it up a bit and maybe do, instead of 3 tutorials, I may just do like 1 tutorial a day and then 1 something other, and 1 something other.
Yeah.
Just to change it up a little bit. I'm running out of stuff to teach.
There's a question here of what motivates you the most to keep up with the 3 videos every day. And I guess, 3 rather than say 1 or 2, or, what was your big motivation on that?
At the beginning, I had so many ideas, so much I could show. that it wasn't hard for me to post the 3 videos. But it's actually the comments of the people who follow me. They're all so nice. I haven't received one hate comment or one negative comment ever, nice. Which makes me like really happy about keeping these videos to 3 a day. So it's actually the people who follow me that keep me motivated to post all the time.
Well, I noticed the top comment on your springtime post was something like, I've hearted this or I've liked this TikTok for no reason other than to save it because I might need it later. Exactly,
yes. There's a lot of comments like that. A lot of comments that ask me to be their graphic design teacher. And lots of them who say, I've learned more from your TikToks than in college. Which actually make me pretty happy.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna see if there's some clips that I can delete.
And write your text. If you have more than one word, make sure that they're separate. Then grab the ellipse tool and make a circle. Grab the knife tool and cut your shape. You can do this by selecting your shape, then right-click or
I can remove this.
Right-click, arrange, bring to front. Place.
Okay, this I already taught them how to do this. I can delete it. Sometimes I just repeat myself.
Yeah.
Place your top text on top of the first shape and the second text on top of the second shape. Select first word and first shape and go to Object, Envelope, Distort, Make with Top Object. This will distort your text into the shape you created, so do the same thing with your bottom shape.
All right, and this I think we can get rid of. Hey, almost. So we're at 1 minute and 10 11 seconds. Yeah, 11 seconds. So we're almost there.
Go to Object, Expand. You can now change color of your text. These are the colors I chose. Make sure.
Okay, this we can delete.
Color of your text. Make sure that each sphere is grouped. You can do that.
All right. Grouped, and then we can cut.
Yeah, you have to have a sort of base understanding of what people's level is currently at. Like,
yes.
You know, do you explain everything? Do you explain how to group, or do you just assume that people would know how to group? And if they don't, they need to find another TikTok of how to do it.
Exactly. So when I cut out the part in which I show which I tell them how to do certain things. So here I cut out the part that I say to group them, press Command G. I usually just write it on top so that I can lessen the size. Yeah, exactly.
I'll make my first copy really small. Then place my second copy right on top. Click here to grab your blend tool and click on both of your shapes. So click on the top one.
Click on both of your shapes. I think that's enough. Because then I say click on the top one and then the bottom one, but
top one and then click on the bottom one.
Okay, yeah.
Here.
I think I can delete this.
Can I introduce you to another shortcut that's going to help you? When you select clips to delete, if you hold Alt or Option on your keyboard and then press delete at the same time, it will delete it and close the timeline.
And close it up?
As a ripple.
Makes sense that there's a shortcut to do that.
Yeah, I mean, there are thousands of shortcuts. It takes a while to start to learn them, but always helpful in everything, definitely.
To grab your blend tool and click on both of your shapes. So click on the double click here.
So what was it? It was Alt or Option?
So if you select the clip itself with the selection tool, and then hold Option and press backspace.
Yeah, saves up time.
Yeah, definitely.
Here. To open up the blend options, you want to select specified steps and you want to add as many steps as you want.
Many steps as you want. Okay. I think that's enough.
Do people ever link you to the work that they've made following your tutorials? Do you ever see?
Yes, they do. They do. I get mentioned in a lot of TikToks, in which cool. People they try and recreate the tutorials I make. Sometimes they'll just tag me because they got like inspired by one of my videos, and I get tagged a lot in Instagram as well.
Yeah, it's always good to see the sort of circle come back.
Yeah,
because then you can see if you've actually taught it very well, or if everyone's missed out a key step. You think
they didn't understand anything.
Yeah.
Options. You want to select specified steps, and you want to add as many steps as you want. And finally, grab your last copy.
As I mentioned here, with the addition of shortcuts, you'll be eating dinner early.
Yes, probably. Okay, we made it.
Cool.
So for this last little piece, which is about a second, it's the same thing as the beginning. I just take a blank video with just the audio, and then I place the final result, I guess, on top. So yeah. For example, now we're going to add text. I don't think I showed any shortcuts apart from the Command G one to group them. So I think we're going to add the text in that one.
Place your top text on top of the first shape and the second text on top of the second shape. Select first word and first shape, and go to Object, Envelope, Distort, Make with Top Object. Make 3 copies of this. Select all of them. Go to Object, Expand. You can now change.
Where was it?
Text. Make sure that each sphere is grouped.
All right, here it is. So over here, I just press T on my keyboard to open up the type tool. And then I just click on where I want my text to be. And I just write Command plus G. And I make it the length that I need. And yeah, that's basically it. Later, I add the TikTok, the overlay on top. And I place it wherever I placed text to see if my text is going to cover any areas in which you can't see it later. Looks fine. So this is ready to be exported. And I have an already exported version because my computer is a little.
Yeah. Streaming.
So I'll show you guys. Yeah.
Screen share and all sorts.
This is the ending result for this one.
Okay.
How to make this cool effect in Illustrator. Grab the type tool and write your text. Make sure that they're separate. Then grab the ellipse tool and make a circle. Grab the knife tool and cut your shape. Make sure that your shape is in front of your text. Then right click, arrange, bring to front. Place your top text on top of the first shape and the second text on top of the second shape. Select first word and first shape, and go to Object, Envelope, Distort, Make with Top Object. Do the same thing with your bottom shape. Make 3 copies of this, select all of them, go to Object, Expand. You can now change color of your text. These are the colors I chose. Make sure that each sphere is grouped. I'll make my first copy really small. Then place my second copy right on top. Click here to grab your blend tool and click on both of your shapes. Double click here, specified steps, add as many steps as you want. And finally, grab your last copy and place it right on top. And here's your final result.
Yeah, right. I forgot to mention, sometimes I write my at my social medias. So that's my Instagram and TikTok. It's always the same name. So I try and put it at the end of every video so that people know, because a lot of comments are also, do you have a YouTube channel or do you have an Instagram? So I just tell people at the end, follow me here, and that's my at.
was going to ask actually, do you have any tips or insight into growing the TikTok? Do you have any sort of strategy aspect, like time of day that you post, or is there anything related to the posting of it?
I've noticed that all the videos that went viral of mine, which are like 3 or 4, I've posted around 2 p.m.
Okay.
Which is weird because you can go and look at your analytics on TikTok and you can go and see at what time people view your videos the most. And for me, that's like 8 p.m.
Right.
So I don't really understand the algorithm of TikTok in any way, because I post that too, but the people who follow me just watch my videos at 8. So I don't understand the correlation between some of my videos that went viral or some of them that don't do as well. I still have to understand how it works.
Yeah.
It's pretty confusing.
It needs like some time to just build up a bit of momentum before it then starts to get recommended out and all sorts.
Yes, exactly. Also, I guess it's strange because at my audience or my followers, the people who watch my videos, are mostly from the US, which makes sense because I make my videos in English. So that would mean that it's morning in the US when I post my videos at 2 p.m. So when it's 8 p.m. my time, then in the US it's like lunchtime.
Yeah.
So it's hard to understand the timing of everything and when to post, when it's better, when it's worse.
I think meal times is definitely a big factor of social media.
Yeah.
Just endlessly scrolling on things whilst you're either waiting for food, if you've ordered it somewhere, or, waiting for things to cook or anything. It's just little filler content. So yeah, definitely see patterns with that.
Because I watch my videos I watch TikTok or whatever. I stay on my phone before I go to sleep. Because in the morning I don't wake up early enough to do anything. So I usually watch videos or content in general before going to bed, like after dinner. So it's hard for me to understand the best times to post or the worst ones.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're anything like most people on TikTok, you probably, do a little bit of TikTok before bed, about 8 hours or so.
Exactly. If I'm not working, then all day. But if I'm working, just before I go to bed, I try.
Yeah, definitely. Did you mention you had another one to show through? Yeah, cool.
I have a second version of how I make these videos is I screen record them. So I have all the effect recorded. And I try to do it as fast as I can so that I have to trim less every time. So I usually end up with 3-minute videos, which then I have to cut into 1-minute videos. But since I don't have the audio in yet, it's kind of easier to make them fit in a minute.
Right.
Sometimes I don't even cut the video. Sometimes I just speed it up. And then I just record myself explaining how to do it and adding the text to it.
Cool.
So we have a video here and an MP3, which I recorded here in Premiere. But I sometimes record things on my phone, just voice memos, and then bring them into Premiere. Just whatever I'm feeling like. So for this one, we're going to import our overlay as well. And our final image. And same thing as before, I'm going to bring in my image first and then delete it. And then I'll bring in my video, which is, let's see, about 3 minutes. Yeah. So another thing I've noticed is whenever I'm doing these that are screen recorded, I try and leave a little black space or white, whatever color, a little space all around it, because I've noticed that whenever I post on TikTok, these sides get a little bit cut off. And so I have my toolbar over here, and sometimes it gets cut off and people can't see what I'm actually clicking.
Yeah.
So sometimes I just leave a tiny little bit of empty space around it.
Yeah, I've noticed that as well. I think it's so even though you upload in 9:16,
yeah,
the difference between devices, it will always scale to fit. But what I find is kind of a little bit annoying with TikTok is they have the opportunity to add a little bit more interface at the bottom of your screen to make the video always fit the same. But they don't seem to implement it that way. They'd rather scale the video wider.
Yes, and cut out half of my toolbar over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's happened to me a couple of times. So since that happened, I always try to at least leave a little space here on the left where I have my toolbar. I don't really care if this part gets cut out, but I guess this part is important, as well as the top part where I have my selections and everything. So for this one, I guess I try not to cut it because I remember it going smoothly. I don't think I made any mistakes, because sometimes I make mistakes. I have to start over again, so I have to cut all the screen recording. But I think I remember I did this properly and never made mistakes. So I just usually right click and go here to speed and duration. Here it tells me that my clip is 3 minutes and 5 seconds long. So I'm gonna look to make it, I guess about like 56 seconds or something like that, so that at the end I can add my image. So I usually just try different numbers. I don't have like a method. I don't know if you have a shortcut for this.
Yeah, you could click directly into the duration and you can type in 1 minute.
Makes sense.
And yeah, there we go.
So I guess something like 55 seconds.
Yeah.
And then I have my audio already made, but I usually just open up my video here, make it the length that I want it, and then I just click on voiceover record. I just record bits and pieces. I usually can't make it all in one take, so I usually record different pieces of it. So here it was 1 minute long.
And I guess if you're doing 3 a day, you would get very good at being timely with things.
Yes. I've been getting pretty good recently, because I started editing in Premiere about a month ago, but before that I wouldn't even edit videos. I would just record with my phone in my hand. I would record the parts that I was interested in with my voice directly on TikTok. So no editing, no Premiere Pro, no nothing. But then, I mean, I wanted to give better quality to my videos, so I started using Premiere. I started using my little tripod for my phone so that I get steady shots, because before they were all wonky.
Yeah. Well, I think this is kind of what this is all about, and especially with the streams, it's having people from all levels of experience. You know, you're obviously very experienced with your design stuff and, you know, the visual arts, and clearly confident in jumping into new software and testing that out and learning things on the fly. It's definitely the best approach to things, step by step, but, you know, just big steps.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see if the audio is fine.
How to make this effect in Illustrator.
All right, so I'll stop here and put the image at the beginning. trim it down to where I need it. And
How
there
to
you
make
go.
this effect in Illustrator. First, grab your type tool and write your text. Make sure you have 2 separate texts if you have more than 1 word. Grab your ellipse tool and make a circle, then grab your knife tool and cut your shape in half. Place your text on top of your shape. Select both and go to Object.
See here, when I screen recorded, I didn't record a big part of the screen, so you can't really see the other little window, which is envelop, distort, like make with top object. So that's where I usually type tool, and I just write the part that's missing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I make it the length
and
that I need.
Object, envelop, distort, make with top object.
Up to here is fine.
Do this with both. Press Command G to group the shape together.
All right, we need a Command G here.
Both. Press Command G to group the shape.
All right, up to here.
Together. Then make 3 copies of it. Go to Object, Expand Appearance. Now you can change colors of your text. Make your first shape really small and the second shape on top of that. Click on the Blend tool and click on both your text. Then double click on the Blend tool, select Specified Steps and add about 120. Place your last copy on top of it and you're all done.
I still remember when I first discovered the double click on the blend tool.
Yes, that's amazing.
It's kind of a hidden feature, right? It's just, you don't know it's there.
I've learned about it like at the beginning of the year. I've been doing graphic design since like 5 years.
I think I read about it in a magazine. Must have been like 10 years ago or something. And immediately after doing that, I thought, well, that saves me a lot of maths. Like I used to have to, position things out and, measure it. And this was in the days when Illustrator didn't properly, or at least I didn't have it in my toolbar. At the very top, you had the measurements of things, and it was before up or days and everything. So I used to measure things with other shapes. So I'd put one shape and then I'd put another shape. And
I would do that as well.
And use that as my measurement tool. And then discovered specified steps. I was like, this is brilliant. And
it's
then just
amazing.
expand it. Yeah.
It's amazing. I use the blend tool for, I'd say, like 30% of the videos I post, because there's so many different ways in which you can use it.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool. You can make sort of like 3D stuff. You can make, I made a video on like making fat gradients. And I made that with the blend tool. It's just, you can use it for so many things.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes the time you spend on it really short. It's so fast.
Yeah, definitely. Just to clarify, there's a question in here of what the double click does. So in the Illustrator toolbar, you see the blend tool. If you double click on it, opens a window and you can choose specified steps. So with your object selected, it will create repetition of that same object between. So yeah, give it a try. Double click. Very useful.
It is really useful. Also, the specified distance I've used recently. That's really useful as well, because there's specified steps, specified distance, and something else that I don't remember. Smooth something. I love the blend tool.
Yeah,
they call me sometimes on some of the comments on TikTok. They call me the blend tool queen because I use it so much.
Yeah, it's a powerful tool. That's what computers are for. They compute all the bits in between that we don't want to be doing. But
exactly.
I also found that after discovering double clicking the icon, I then went around double clicking all of the icons.
All of them, and they all open up to show you the different options you can change.
Yeah,
it's so interesting. I've learned that not too long ago.
Yeah, definitely. No, it's always so much to learn. And in fact, actually, just continuing on in the chat, there's questions here asking, do you find Premiere or Premiere Pro overwhelming? And have you tried Premiere Rush at all?
I haven't, but I recently saw I think it was a Adobe live stream where there was this person explaining Adobe Rush.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I will try it out.
Yeah,
it might be easier.
I mean,
it's not too hard, but there's lots of different options. I feel like if you know how to use Photoshop and Illustrator, it's so much easier to go into any other Adobe program because the interface is similar. But then there's all these like hidden features and shortcuts and all these different options that make it harder. But I guess you can do the basics of any Adobe program if you know how to use one. Then you'll know how to use the basics of all the other ones.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, the fact that you've jumped into Premiere Pro, it probably makes sense to stay in Premiere Pro. There's a few things in Premiere Rush that maybe make it a little bit more obvious of what tools you have available. So things like the essential sound panel, which exists in Premiere Pro, but it's maybe a little bit more hidden, which will just help you to universally edit some of your audio before you go into some of the more advanced features of audio editing and things like that. But otherwise, I think jumping in with Premiere Pro, it's good job.
good choice.
Yeah. I mean, Premiere Rush, you have also the benefit of editing on mobile or
on my phone directly.
Yeah, to save you transferring if you're recording from your phone.
Yeah, that would be nice. But I just AirDrop everything, so it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, that's good.
And so this is done. If you want to see, I have this one exported as well.
Mm-hmm.
How to make this effect in Illustrator. First, grab your type tool and write your text. Make sure you have 2 separate texts if you have more than 1 word. Grab your ellipse tool and make a circle, then grab your knife tool and cut your shape in half. Place your text on top of your shape. Select both and go to Object, Envelop, Distort, Make with Top Object. Do this with both. Press Command G to group the shape together. Then make 3 copies of it. Go to Object, Expand Appearance. Now you can change colors of your text. Make your first shape really small and the second shape on top of that. Click on the Blend tool and click on both your text. Then double click on the Blend tool, select Specified Steps and add about 120. Place your last copy on top of it and you're all done. Follow me on Instagram for more cool stuff like this one.
Yeah, and that's basically it. These are 2 main ways I make them.
Mm-hmm. In terms of the 2 there, so we've got the same content essentially. Which do you prefer? One shot on mobile or one shot on screen recording?
I prefer for editing, I prefer the shooting directly on the mobile because I don't have to add the audio later, which I find pretty hard. Mm-hmm. But for the, I guess, quality and for people watching the video, I think the screen recorded one, you can see everything better and it's neater, I guess.
Yeah.
So personally, I like to shoot with my phone, but I actually think it's better if I screen record it.
Yeah, I guess it's either, the power's in your hands of, do you either make more, share more tips, or do you make the tips a little bit easier to follow, but potentially share less of them? It's, it's definitely a balance between them. Yeah. There's definitely some chat in the or rather some comments in the chat of wanting to have you back and maybe do an Illustrator stream at some point and go through some tips on things. I think that would be a lot of fun.
I'd love to.
You got a lot of ideas on things, and I think as I said earlier, the breadth of difference between your work, it's just incredible. And the fact that you're posting 3 per day on top of having a full-time job as well, and it's not just editing 3 videos. I mean, you've been able to edit 2 within the stream whilst commentating about it, but it's also coming up with the idea and making the thing before you make the thing about the thing. It's yeah, there's a lot to it. Yeah, I think it's just great to see creativity being spread, you know, on all levels, on all media, to everyone. It's brilliant.
Thank you so much.
So I think there's definitely been a lot of love in the chat for your work, and if you want to go and see more of it, your Instagram and your TikTok, is that the same handle between the two?
It's all the same.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. So that is Margherita Vox, I believe. Should be on the screen, I think. So if anyone wants to go and check that out. So yeah, Margherita, this has been a great stream going through some of your stuff. Coming up, I was going to say coming up in the week, but it's Friday. I'm not used to doing Friday streams. So coming up next week, I believe we have another hackathon. So a full week of one project, going through all sorts of work around I believe I can say this, a fictional tea company. I hope I haven't given any spoilers away. Going through some packaging and design work and all sorts of, creative media that we haven't seen too frequently on the stream. So that's coming up Monday, Wednesday, and Friday of next week. And this has been a great one. So thank you, Margherita, for joining us, and thank you everyone in the chat. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it was a useful session for you. And we will catch you soon. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Cheers. Bye-bye.